Hey guys, in this special video of right now with, I have three of my closest friends here in IIM Trichy. We like to call ourselves the R Squad because all of our names start with R. So we're four people: Rohit, Rashi, Rachit, and myself. So we'll start this video with Rohit. You can talk about your background.
Hi guys, my name is Rohit. I'm from Bengaluru. So I graduated in 2020, almost 2021, I would say. I'm a commerce graduate. Post my graduation, I started my career with Accenture, moved to Amazon later. Both were operational roles, and my last and the most impactful role that I had was with a company called Banzu, which is basically a startup about to become a unicorn. So I started as a BDA, and then over 18 months of tenure, I got promoted as a senior sales manager, and after that I gave CAT, and right now I'm here.
Rashi, your intro, please.
Hello guys, my name is Rashi. I come from Nagpur, but I've been in Bombay. I've been living in Bombay the last 7-8 years. I moved there because I moved there for college. I did my BTech in biotechnology. Post which I chose a career path that was not biotech. I started working in agencies. I worked in several agencies since 2021. My last stint was at this small agency where I worked as a brand strategist. I was on the pitch team where we'd work closely with the business development team and onboard businesses. So yeah, and then I gave CAT and now I'm here.
Hi guys, my name is Rachit. So I'm from Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh. So I did my BTech in Gwalior itself. So I graduated in 2022, and then I worked in a Wipro for 2 years. So where I was in the sector of digital transformation for the oil and gas industry. So I was like a technical consultant for the oil and gas domain. And post that, yeah, I gave CAT, and then now I'm in IIM Trichy.
I think we can start with our transition here. So all four of us have work experience. We are working prior to coming here. So we'll rewind and go back to term one, where we transition from working and then to academics. So you can talk about term one now from an academic perspective.
So it's more of a decision that nobody wants to study that much. We are not academically inclined because we choose that, right? If at all we put as much as efforts as others, yeah, of course we would get better marks. We would probably be in A square rather, but we don't put that much of efforts. But we rather, I would say that since all the four of us are have a lot of experience in terms of corporate, right? So we focus a lot more than learning than actual scoring in terms of getting proper grades or getting good grades. So we are more inclined towards actual learning in the classes rather than taking what can be put in the paper, or what we can do in terms of getting good marks. So that is what I would say. That's what happens with me, at least.
Yeah, I agree. If you look at all of us, I think except Rachit, because I think he's a little bit of an introvert. We Whenever there's an interesting class, we try to participate. We try to give our inputs, and yeah, I mean that's what happened. Like Rohit said, when you come with a certain years into the industry, to go back to studying can be a little difficult. Also, especially for me, because I came from a background wherein I was given a lot of freedom, where I had control over my day. Over here, it's a lot of giving up on your free will because there is a lot to do, and yeah, so it can get difficult. But then we're all here. We're all trying to manage our times better. So, yes.
So what I think is when you work, so usually you get more focus on the application part of the skills. So I think coming back to the college and then opening the textbooks, that is the first thing, which is the difficult part, and reading all those things. So I think what we don't like is reading the theory, because
Exact opposite. It's the exact opposite for. I'd say it's the exact opposite for me and Rohit. We like reading all the theory stuff. Whenever numericals kick in, that is where we start trouble. So in first semester, statistics was one subject which was very difficult for me, Rohit. Rashi, I'm not sure.
That one subject which exists just to destroy your CGPA.
Yeah, every semester there's one subject like that. It is difficult for us, obviously, but engineers typically, like Rachit, enjoy studying such subjects.
That's not true. That's not true.
He does. So first semester we had statistics. Second semester we had ORM, which is very similar to that, and And this semester we have OM, which is even more difficult for me personally.
But the aspects of OM that I really like is the minute sir starts applying the numerical concepts to practical life, that is the moment when numericals start seeming interesting. But like if I see numericals and the real life practical application in silos, then I'm not able to connect with the numericals as much. So I think that is a little bit of the gap that exists for us as of now. But again, OM is a difficult subject, but the practical application bit of it makes a numerical a tad bit better, I'd say, right? So yeah.
So yeah, I would like partially agree because yeah, numericals are like the hectic part. I would feel like people who don't have the background in maths and also they would find it difficult. But if you do it in the Excel, like how you do it in the industry, and then that wouldn't be the problem there because Excel does the half of the part. And when you see and OM, these subjects are those like what sir teaches is like he gave the real life cases example, yeah, consulting. So I think that is the subject which is closely related to the application currently right now, which we use.
I mean, all the subjects are equally important at the end of the day, and you'll find groups of people who are equally passionate. For example, I'm very passionate about marketing. Rashi is, and for just like that, right? You'll find passionate people for statistics, OM operations, etc. It's just that there'll be a few difficult subjects right in the first year, and it's a learning curve that is necessary for you. Because in the first year, it's important for you to grab important concepts, understand various domains of the industry, right? Like operations, marketing, etc. So it's a bit of a rough curve, but nonetheless, it is necessary for everyone.
Yeah, it's like I remember there's a dialogue in MS Dhoni, right? About the cricket, like you don't have to play all the balls, you just have to touch the bounces. So this OMs and BS are the bouncers.
So today, someone's becoming an extrovert finally.
Yeah.
Also, but what is difficult to one person may not be difficult to other person. So I remember in the first time we had the subject called microorganizational behavior. So it's more theoretical in nature. It's more to do with the human psyche. Now, what I noticed was the class was divided into two groups. One group really enjoyed it and also found it slightly easy to deal with. But then there was this other group that struggled a lot in OB. Like I have a friend who was called to the teacher's office after the answers that she wrote, because for her to understand these things is very difficult. It's just because it comes from the place that she comes from, the background that she's had.
Do you think work experience plays a part in a course like organizational behavior? Because once you work, you get the practicality of it.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think like in the subjects like OB, I was very able to relate with so I didn't have to push much effort in the studying OB because I was able to relate it with the industry I have worked in, so it was easy.
Anything interesting from OB you guys remember?
Do you guys remember the sandwich method?
That was business communication.
Business communication,
Manager
but
used to use.
yeah, I mean, I have used it without knowing it. I didn't know what sandwich method was, but since I had handled a team myself, right? So whenever I had to give feedback to someone, so you don't start out with a rough tone. All of a sudden, you tell them that you've been good at a thing, and there are some areas that you can improve on. So when you look at, one may assume that HR courses or OB courses may be very boring, but you'll be actually very surprised to the kind of impact they'll add. When you become a manager, right? These things, work is something. The amount of productivity someone puts in is one thing, but if you're not able to manage a team well, that productivity is of no use. So one course which has actually put a lot of impact and surprised me a lot was HR, because before coming to MBA, I had a whole different perception of how HR courses go. But once I came here, I think they've added a lot of value.
I think I agree. I think my favorite teacher here has been Papri ma'am.
Yeah.
Because, you would be so engaged in the class and you would not think of anything beyond the classroom, because the way she'd engage you, also what I really liked about her class was that every class would have some practical application for your real life. You guys remember the last Papri ma'am class? She said something about stress. So she ended the class on that note. She said something about, if you guys remember.
Burnout all the time.
Yeah. Also, she said, the theory basically was that you sort of gaslight yourself whenever you feel stressed. She said there's two kinds of stress. There's good stress and bad stress. So there was a study also done that said that if you think stress is bad, it's going to impact you more. So your perception of stress also
either increases.
Yes. So you remember the research that was done, I think for I think for heart patients or something like that. So they were asked if they think some smoking, I think, I'm not sure. So some activity related to some disease. So they were asked, do you think this impacts the disease to a certain extent? Some people said more, some people said less. And then the study was conducted, and then the result showed that the people who perceived the impact to be more, they were affected more. So I think she ended the class on that note, that you guys we're conditioned to believe that all stress is bad. That's not true. The minute we start building a good relationship with stress is when stress management becomes easier.
I think that is the whole point of MBA in first year. Actually, you get a bit of everything. If I was given the choice to pick courses probably in the first year, I wouldn't have picked any of the operations courses. Even HR, I was little doubtful. But the fact that you get a bit of everything in the first year, I mean, it is forced onto you, but I think it's a good thing at the end of the day, because the end goal is to be a good manager of an MBA, is to be a good manager. So you have to know a little bit of everything. So I think that is good in the first year. Obviously, in the second year is when we get to pick our own specialization. So first year, you get a bit of everything. You tend to test it out and see which works best for you, and then proceed ahead. So yeah, it is challenging. First year is obviously challenging because you have to study things which you don't actually like studying. But that is good, I feel, in the long run.
Everything will shape you at the end of the day, and it's I think the first year is the most demanding as well as the most important year in terms of these 2 years of
Like the first year, I would say the first 2 sems, those were the most dramatic.
the first one was the most, I mean, it's the toughest
Like
toughest
stress
part
also,
of-
but it was like a bit of excitement, like what's going to happen in the next 2 hours, no one's going to know what
Yeah.
meal is going to come.
True.
Anything would come anytime.
When you pass out from colleges like this, right, not just baby on you, even if you pass out from tier 1, tier 2, such kinds of colleges, companies think that if at all you have the ability to handle such kind of stress, where the course is so demanding, you can handle any project in the future.
So
Right?
it's
That is how
like
companies think.
here, like every day is a new day. There is no routine type of thing where you get bored. That's what happens in the corporate also. Every day there is a new problem. You have to come up with a new solution. So I think that's what the MBA is about here.
And the videos that you watch on YouTube, a day in the life of an IIM student, that can never be constant, because every day it's a different thing at different time you're doing. One day you wake up to go to a class, one day you wake up to submit an assignment, one day you wake up to
go to gym.
Yeah.
Interestingly, all four of us have started going to the gym now. We have our subscriptions ready, but unfortunately, one person alone. She's been subscribed for the past 3-4 months now. Yeah.
I went 5 times.
5 days in the last month.
Last 4 months. 2 months. Yeah. Next thing we want to talk about is how the grading system and how the different subjects are structured here. Usually in different undergraduate colleges, it's typically an end semester exam, little components here and there. But here there's like a lot of weightage to class participation. There are mid semesters, there are surprise quizzes. So it's like throughout the whole three months in a semester, you have to keep studying. You have to constantly keep putting in effort. It's not like you slack off during the first few months and then just write the end term and get through. So I think that is something that was very new to me. Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, coming from someone who studied BCom, you just study for one day before the exam and you clear it
What
even
do you
with
think
decent
happens
grades.
Engineering also is the same. But then, but the weightage that is given to class participation and the assignments is...
But there is no class participation in engineering, you know that.
That's what I'm saying. Over here, that is the difference. The class participation. Also, if you remember Shalini ma'am's, one of the things that she had said, which I thought was very interesting, was she said, so we have relative grading here, meaning it's pretty cutthroat. And so she's... Yes, exactly. So she said, why do you think we have relative grading here? Why do you think we put more weightage for end term and midterm and slightly less for group assignments and also the other stuff? Right? She said it's coming from the industry. Because the industry appreciates competition at this moment. The minute industry will start to appreciate or sort of focus more on collaboration, the curriculum here will change. So all of these colleges are basically, I think all of these colleges are a simulation for the real world. Yes, but then things are slightly more intensified here. So
Because the duration is less long. So
Yeah.
one semester you hardly get 2.5 to 3 months. You have to study 6 months. Each book is like this huge. So obviously you have to get it done.
I think that's my biggest. Subjects like OM, ORM, even business stats, I don't think they're innately difficult. I think it's because so much is packed into 3 months.
Time constraint.
Yeah. So then it becomes difficult to cover, and I don't think we're able to. I mean, we may or may not be able to achieve the depth also that is required, which is why Satish sir keeps saying that it's not a. He said it's not a master's degree. It's a It's not a master's degree. It's a generalization. It's a general course. You don't specialize in anything.
Even yesterday, Shivakumar sir was talking about this. You remember talking about breadth versus depth.
Depth.
Yeah. So first year we get breadth, basically a bit of everything in the first year. Second year is when you specialize and you go in depth in a particular course. So the entire curriculum is in such a way where everyone gets a bit of everything in the first year. I think that is how it's typically designed here in the first year.
And it's actually very important that they give a lot of weightage to CP, right? Because if at all,
you agree, bro?
Rachit is the most the quietest guys. So CP is basically how you put your points through in a class, and that can be anything. It can be doubts. It can be basically what kind of value you're adding to the class in terms of how verbally you participate. It can be anything like questions, doubts. It can be opinion from yourself, observation, etc. And this is very important because it doesn't matter how good of an idea you have in your mind if you're not able to put it across to an audience, right? And especially in this generation, in the era of today, the world rewards far more to audacity than it does to potential. If at all you don't have potential, if at all you have potential and you don't have the ability to put it through, that's pointless. So they train us to make sure that you don't shy away from expressing your observation, your views, etc. And I think by the time you come to second or third semester, I was never a shy person, and Rashi and Rahul both are very vocal about their views as well. But the case is quite opposite with Rachit. He's quite of an introvert. And what I've observed is that, so we are all of the same roll numbers, 36, 37, 38, and 39. So
all right.
Shit, man.
36, 37, 38.
Oh, okay. Guys, I told in an order. Come on. Chill. So Rachit has great views. So he sits next to me and he keeps giving me points. He's like,
When did I?
You've done it multiple times. I ask you to say it in the class and you don't. So that is something that I want him to change. He has so many good points and he doesn't put it through in the class, and it's such a loss.
So we're gonna update in the comment section. So Rachit here has taken up a challenge. Tomorrow's class is gonna do a lot of CP. So we'll see Rachit. Okay.
I think the class participation is also necessary because everyone comes from a different background. So suppose
Peer learning.
it's about perspective. So suppose there is a case about a farmer, and who's a better person who can give his perspective than who comes from the pharma industry, so that everyone can learn from his point of view and then apply.
And the class is quite diverse, especially A section. We have people from pharma, like you said. We have lawyers. We have people from journalism. We have one economics student who's very passionate about economics. I hope you're watching the video. And and Rahul is not an engineer. These two are engineers. And so we have a main discussion about things ourselves in the class. We keep not gossiping. We keep talking a lot in the class about our own. Yeah, we do gossip as well. But we keep talking a lot about our observation, our views, and the case being discussed.
And I think it helps the professors also from learning about from the students, like
we drive the class, right? We set the direction of the class, so that is how the class goes on.
Also, I think the one more thing I've observed is if I'm doing CP, because all of our attention spans have suffered in the last couple years, the class that I do more CP in, I'm also more engaged. My ears are also more receptive to what others are saying, what Sir is saying. So that is one more advantage of CP is that.
Typically, you put out a point and then the professor takes the conversation through that point. So you're active throughout the whole conversation because they come back to you after, let's say, 10 minutes or 15 minutes. They come back to you asking a different question for the perspective that you ask. So you're constantly in conversation, you're constantly in play. And I'd say it builds a certain level of confidence. Personally, in the undergraduation, I didn't talk once in class. But here we had the necessity to talk initially in the first semester. So that gave me confidence. Once I talked once, twice, it helped me build confidence. And now regularly I talk in classes. I mostly don't do CP just for the case of doing a CP. We generally do CP when we have a real world example where we put it out, or we generally have any questions. So I think personally CP has helped me to improve my confidence here.
Also articulation.
Yeah, articulation also. So I think Rachit will be the next.
I'll do tomorrow. It enhances the thought process of how you think, and like it helps you in the interviews and all. So
we had a whole subject for this in the first semester, right? business communications in the first semester, and that was such a great course. I absolutely loved it.
Of course, he loved it.
Yeah. So yeah, that is one course that I loved a lot, and I would and we are taking one course as well, Rahul and I. There's one course called storytelling in the fourth semester, and we're pretty excited about it. Hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, one other interesting aspect which I noted is visiting faculty who comes to our campus here. Typically, at least in undergraduation, most of my professors were full-time professors. But here we have visiting faculties who are actually working in a corporate company or a startup company who come and teach us during the weekends. So that was pretty interesting for me, both in the first semester now as well.
So like in the first semester, like for our business communication team, so Shashank sir, so like when he used to like relate with the industry, like how he worked, so like we all have work, so we'll be able to relate it more. So yeah, I think it was like engaging.
And so basically, just to add insight, right? So when he was taking the course for us, I won't mention the company's name and the professor's name, of course, but there was round B funding going on, and you can just imagine the kind of exposure that you can get from someone like him, right? So it was a great learning curve for all of us in the class, and I spent a lot of time, with him after the class as well, asking my doubts and whatnot. So yeah, so these courses, you may think that they do not add a lot of knowledge in terms of one domain, but these soft skills, they are the ones which actually set you apart from a group of people. So if at all you're able to put your point across very well, you stand out, right? So you can differentiate yourself from a group of people when you have such kind of good skills.
So a lot of it is, so we have a case-based pedagogy. I think the larger purpose that is trying, I think Siva sir also mentioned it somewhere, I think 2-3 classes ago. He said, we're not here to like make you cram things. All these formulas that we're learning, BS, whatever we learned, OM, whatever we learned, all of that is, I mean, you may forget that. It's very likely, 100% you're going to forget that. He said, we're not here to get you to memorize certain things. What we're trying to help build is
The logic.
the bent of mind. Like, how do you arrive at the process of arriving at a decision? That is what we're trying to teach. So he said we're trying to build intuition here. So one thing he mentioned, I think in the second class,
Someone said that it's not about the result, it's about the process.
Also, yeah. he said he asked us a few questions, and then we said we don't know. Sir said you should always, even if you don't know, you should have an opinion, and then find ways to substantiate it, look for proof. So that is how you'll build the logic, the bent of mind to arrive at decisions.
I think apart from MBA, no other courses have the cases.
I'm not sure of any, but the cases play a very, very important role because they put you in an environment and they put you in they put you in a place where you actually have to become a protagonist of that role, and you have to imagine yourself.
Like it's not like a imaginary case; it's a real life case study. So
there were one or two cases which were imaginary, but however, most of the cases that we go through are almost all our cases are from Harvard Business School, right? So they have been,
So they basically link all the concepts with the cases that we have. So prior to coming to class, we are asked to do a case study, basically study the case. And then in the class, we typically have conversations with the professors, and then they drive the conversation from there and explain the concepts. So it's not like you're just learning a concept there. You learn the concept through an actual business case study. So once you actually, go to a business environment, you can relate to the business case study and try to solve it. That is how it is.
In the orientation for case-based pedagogy that was held, Manikandan sir, who teaches us strategy, he was the one who did it for me. So he said, we don't like to call ourselves teachers, we like to call ourselves moderators. So that is the kind of pedagogy that we have here. So the teacher will sort of seed certain ideas in your head and then ask for your inputs and then take the conversation in the direction that helps you build the logical frame of mind. Yeah, that's how it works.
And there was one more course which made a lot of difference for us. That was the marketing course in the first semester. The way Satish said actually, shaped our minds in terms of how to understand the customers, understand the pain points of companies.
And his teaching style is pretty different. It's very engaging. Like how he asks us to question ourselves.
Confused.
Like even if we have a clarity on one topic, he'll question something or the other. We'll be in self-doubt. Are we right or wrong?
I really liked, the subject that changed my perspective was Karthik Dhandapani's class. Entrepreneurial manager. Now you would think it's the most generic course out there. You'd think, oh, how do you start a business? How do you? But then what the concepts that were taught were completely new to me. I don't think any of us had heard about any of. Did you know about effectuation? Did you know about the lemonade principle?
No.
It basically said so. Because I come from marketing. How we generally do things is we'll collect data, we'll derive inferences from it, and we'll make decisions. What that course taught us was sometimes you just gotta start and then build around it instead of waiting for the right data because the data might not work for past data might not work for future decisions. So this is called effectuation, which is you do things, you find the right. Yes.
Future
So
professor,
yes, I'm gonna teach.
marketer.
Yes, I'm gonna teach operations management.
The thing is, there is no abundance for information is everywhere. It's in abundance. Everyone has access to it. But it's the way that you use it. And these frameworks help us guide our thoughts, in order for us to take action. And the same discussion happened in the class today as well. Where we were explained about how to use the frameworks well. And you keep getting better at it over time. So the more you keep understanding about frameworks, the more it makes sense on how to which framework to apply for what situations. The most important thing is that it's not just related to one domain, right? So strategy is basically everything, and I think it's Rahul and mine both love strategy this semester. We absolutely loved it, and so I would say the same with both these.
You guys are
as well.
taking 2 strategy courses in next term.
One.
I'm taking 2. I've been really liking. I was working, and so my job essentially entailed finding a problem and then finding a solution to it. But then finding a marketing solution to it. And then I used to wonder that, hey, this problem is not originating in marketing, and there's only so much that I can do sitting in marketing. If only I had access to other parts of the business wherein I was maybe given an opportunity to sort of find solutions there or identify problems there. Maybe my approach would be more holistic. So I always thought that I'm doing something, but is it really a marketing problem to solve? So yes, I am from marketing. I love marketing, but the fact that the breadth of knowledge that we got in the first year, I think is going to help me do marketing as well in the future, because you need to have a holistic perspective and not just the perspective of one particular domain, because the problem could be anywhere. Yes.
Right. So absolutely. I think we'll come to the end of the video. We've talked a lot about academics.
Guys, it's not just about the cats. I am the funds also.
Yeah, that will be again. We'll do a separate video. This video we just wanted to focus on the academic side of things. We didn't want to, say everything.
I don't want to scare the viewers. It's about academic rigor and rigor. Right?
Look at Rachit stealing the mic to do CP here.
Yeah. See,
Already there.
yeah. The whole point of this video is to tell you that, even average students like us, we enjoy the academics.
Talk
here.
for yourself.
She's below average. So yeah. So you can give one small advice to someone who's looking to join IIM. Someone who's like us, who's average, who's not a topper, who's not a first bencher, but they are going to join IIM. They want to join IIM. You can give them one small advice.
If someone wants to join, just don't think much. If you really want to join, just join. Don't have those negative thoughts. And it's not about the scores and all here. So just enjoy the process. Just keep learning. And it's all about it's about fun also. You make new friends, you make connections here. So yeah, just join and enjoy.
Look at Rachit.
All right. I think be street smart. Don't just learn for the sake of, for scoring marks. No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't make sense. If at all you're the highest scorer in the class, and if your biggest aspiration in life is to just become an MNC, become a manager in MNC, right? No, this is not the place for you. You need to be cutthroat. You need to be absolutely relentless. You need to be very, very competitive. And that's not an advice to get there. That's just a generic advice. But if you want to get here, develop on your soft skills, Excel, communication skills, and all that. Apart from that, look, when you don't do well in 2 subjects, you will do well in the other 3, probably. If at all you're not doing well in, let's say, operations, you'll be probably doing well in marketing. So there'll always be the balance, and you need to find that right kind of balance. And that is how.
Yeah, I think that CAT prepares you, because I remember my mentor saying the DLR sets, you don't attempt all 4. You just choose what are the 2 best ones. I think
finding the right balance will help you.
Balance.
Not just survive. It'll help you.
Yeah. When I said that, be sure about your why I said that was everyone here has a very different path. Someone might come here to just get the degree and settle earlier in life. Someone would come here to learn. Someone would come here to jump the corporate ladder. So when you come here, if you're not clear on why you have come here, it might create a lot of problem for you, because then you'll be all over the place. You'll be looking at other peers. Even though it's a competitive atmosphere, you're actually not competing with anyone, because everyone's path's going to be very different. So you decide, you understand, and be very, very, very clear on what is it that you want out of these 2 years.
You're your own competition.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I think that is the end of the conversation for this video. I hope you guys found some informative videos, informative content in this video. It's pretty hot, guys. Come on, it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. It's pretty hot.
And it's tricky, man. I mean,
Yeah.
If at all you're coming from somewhere that is not Tamil Nadu, yeah, you should appreciate them visiting it at this time of the day and actually making a video. And it was fun, guys.
In the evening, it's very pleasant here.
Not very pleasant, but yeah, it was a very fun conversation that we had. I mean, our conversations are this formal, of course, but right now we've made this last half an hour, 45 minutes very formal.
This is the first video, and it's also academic, so it's pretty formal. We'll try to make more similar videos upcoming. And let us know in the comments if you like the R Squad and who's your favorite member in the R Squad.